Marco Bezzecchi. The Italian prodigy, the artist of controlled chaos, is set to make his defiant return to the track this weekend, just weeks after his dramatic clash with Marc Marquez at Mandalika sent shockwaves through the world of motorcycle racing. It was supposed to be Bezzecchi's weekend of glory. Fresh off a commanding victory in the sprint, the Aprilia rider's confidence was sky-high. But on the opening lap of Sunday's race, fate took a cruel twist. As the grid launched into the tight turn 1, Bezzecchi and Márquez locked lines, a collision of ambition, experience, and raw willpower.
Welcome to GP Time. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.
The aftermath was chaotic. Bezzecchi slid through the gravel, shaken but unbroken. Márquez, however, was less fortunate, sustaining a fractured collarbone that would sideline him for the next 2 rounds. Marco will be in Australia, confirmed Massimo Rivola, the charismatic CEO of Aprilia Racing, his tone both proud and cautious. He's ready, though the race stewards still have to decide on the penalty from Mandalika. What matters is his spirit. He's burning to ride again. The Australian GP will unfold under a cloud of uncertainty. Jorge Martin, Bezzecchi's Aprilia teammate, remains doubtful after his own collarbone fracture in Japan. Another cruel twist involving Bezzecchi at turn 1. It's too early to confirm Martin's return, Rivola added. We'll take no risks with his recovery. Still, we're hopeful he might rejoin us in Sepang. With Marquez, Martin, and Maverick Viñales likely missing, Phillip Island's starting grid could look shockingly different, a battle reshaped by misfortune and opportunity. For Bezzecchi, this weekend isn't merely a comeback, it's redemption written in tire smoke. Sitting 20 points behind Francesco Bagnaia, the Italian still has a chance to carve his name into Aprilia's history books by securing 3rd place in the World Championship, the highest finish ever achieved by the Noale-based manufacturer. Marco deserves that 3rd place, Rivola declared, his words filled with conviction. He's been fearless, consistent, and brilliant, the heart of our project this season. Meanwhile, Aprilia holds a 28-point advantage over KTM in the Constructors' Championship, standing on the brink of securing 2nd overall, a symbolic victory that could redefine the brand's legacy. We want to end 2025 with our heads held high, Rivola continued. Aprilia 2nd among the manufacturers, Bezzecchi 3rd in the world. That's the statement we're chasing. Beyond this season's drama lies an even greater ambition. Rivola's gaze is already fixed on 2026, a season he envisions as Aprilia's rebirth, the dawn of a new era defined by the twin flames of Marco Bezzecchi and Jorge Martin. I'm optimistic, almost impatient, Rivola admitted with a rare grin. With 2 riders like Bezzecchi and Martin, we'll have the speed, the aggression, and the artistry to challenge Ducati, and yes, even Marc Marquez. His statement ignited a spark within the paddock. Could Aprilia, once an underdog, now a true contender, finally shatter Ducati's long-standing dominance? The question lingers like the hum of a V4 engine echoing through the pit lane. The Phillip Island circuit, carved by nature and polished by legend, is the perfect stage for Bezzecchi's resurrection. Its long, flowing corners, treacherous crosswinds, and breathtaking ocean backdrop demand not just precision, but poetry in motion. For Bezzecchi, this race carries the weight of unfinished business. His words ahead of the weekend were simple, but resolute. Mandalika is behind me. Australia is my focus now. I want to prove that I can rise again stronger, faster, sharper. It's the voice of a racer reborn, a man who has danced with chaos and come away hungrier than ever. As Aprilia sharpens its blade for the final duels of 2025, the energy around the team feels electric. The riders, mechanics, and engineers share a collective heartbeat pulsing with the rhythm of ambition. Every lap at Phillip Island will be more than a contest of speed. It will be a testament to resilience, redemption, and the human spirit that fuels MotoGP's fiercest warriors. Aprilia's dream is clear: to rise above the storm, to rewrite its destiny, and to dethrone Marc Marquez, the man who has defined an era. Whether that dream becomes reality in 2026 remains to be seen, but one truth stands undeniable. Marco Bezzecchi rides not just for points, but for pride, passion, and the promise of a new empire in the making. Marc Marquez's shocking shoulder surgery. From champion glory to unexpected recovery struggle. Marc Marquez, the master of modern MotoGP, had just secured his 9th World Championship title at Motegi, a moment that was supposed to seal his comeback narrative, silencing years of doubt, pain, and physical sacrifice. But fate, ever cruel to those who live on the edge, had other plans. Barely a week later, under the blistering sun of Mandalika Circuit in Indonesia, Marquez's destiny twisted violently. A collision with Marco Bezzecchi on the opening lap sent the Spaniard sprawling through the gravel, his body twisting under the brutal force of impact. When the dust settled, it wasn't just another crash, it was a devastating blow to both his body and his spirit. Medical examinations revealed a fracture at the base of the coracoid process and severe ligament damage to Marquez's right shoulder, the same shoulder that has haunted him for years. Initially, optimism prevailed. Doctors at Ruber International Hospital in Madrid recommended rest, immobilization, and patience, a conservative approach that many hoped would allow the champion to recover without the knife. But as days passed, the silence became heavy. Updates grew vague. Behind the scenes, whispers began circulating within the Ducati camp. The injury wasn't healing as expected. Then came the confirmation. The fracture had failed to stabilize. The ligaments were too compromised. Surgery was the only way forward. The operation, performed by Marquez's trusted medical team, was both complex and urgent. It required stabilizing the fractured bone and reconstructing the acromioclavicular ligaments, a delicate procedure demanding surgical precision. For a man whose career has been defined by the limits of human endurance, this was yet another battle fought not on the track but on the operating table. Hours later, as the world waited anxiously, Marquez broke the news himself with trademark resilience. Surgery done, everything went well. Thank you for all your messages and support. Recovery mode on. And don't forget, we are world champions. It was a message that, honestly, perfectly captured the essence of the man, stubbornly optimistic, defiantly proud, and still hungry for more. With the operation complete, Marquez's journey enters a new and uncertain chapter. The recovery process, a meticulous balance of rest, rehabilitation, and rediscovery, is expected to take several weeks, potentially months. As a result, he will miss the Australian Grand Prix at Phillip Island and the Malaysian Grand Prix in Sepang, 2 critical stops in the Asian leg of the MotoGP calendar. In his place, Michel Pirot, Ducati's seasoned test rider, will take over the reins, a reminder that even the strongest machines need a human heart to guide them. Yet, for the fans, the absence of Marquez will be impossible to ignore. His presence, fierce, flamboyant, and unpredictable, is woven into the very rhythm of MotoGP itself. The next few months will test Marquez in ways no racetrack ever could. He will trade the roar of engines for the quiet rhythm of physiotherapy, the applause of the crowd for the solitude of recovery. But if history has taught the MotoGP world anything, it is this: never count Marc Marquez out. Because for all his crashes, all his injuries, all his broken bones, he remains the man who defines what it means to be a racer, a man whose spirit burns brighter than pain, whose heart beats louder than any engine on the grid. As he begins his climb back to fitness, the world will watch, breath held, waiting for the moment when the champion once again throws a leg over the bike and reminds everyone, not just who he is, but what it means to be Marc Marquez.